Fringe. My name is Andrew Dentler. I'm the National President of the Australian Manufacturing Workers Union, and I'm very pleased to be able to welcome you to this event, which has been organised by the Australia Palestine Advocacy Network, of which I am a member, and which the AMW, my union, is a very proud sponsor. This event is about the Oslo peace process is dead. What should Australia's response be? Can I say before we commence, it would be helpful if you've got a mobile phone that you turn it to silent, and also that you should note that this evening we will have time for questions and answers, and obviously it's going to be really important for us to be able to communicate properly, and hopefully we can do that in an orderly fashion. Yes.
The event is also induced.
Yes, sorry.
Just before that falls down.
It will no doubt fall down. And of course, very much so, the Australian Jewish Democratic Society. Thank you for the reminder. So with me I have, well, first of all, we will have a video of Dr. Hanan Ashrawi, who will be speaking shortly. But of course she's had to have been pre-taped. It is, I'm told, rather quiet, so I notice everybody's very good at being silent at the moment, which is fantastic, and I thank you for that. But apparently the audio is a little bit dim, so if you have to strain to hear you, maybe you can move closer to a speaker, although the speakers are up on the wall. With me, of course, is a panel of speakers, which I think is self-explanatory. I will introduce our panel members shortly. But as the MC of this event, it is of course part of the ALP Fringe Conference Fringe program. This Fringe event is being held on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners. I would also like to pay my respect to their elders past and present, and the elders from other communities who may be here today. And of course, as I said, it's hosted by APAN and the Australian Jewish Democratic Society. APAN is a national coalition of individuals and civil society organisations who seek to contribute to justice for Palestinians by advocating for a more balanced Australian foreign policy on this question. AJDS is a, quote, Jewish voice amongst progressives and a progressive voice amongst Jews, and for over 30 years has been advocating for a just peace for the benefit of both Palestinians and Jewish people. The program for tonight is to hear from Dr. Hanan Ashrawi and a response from former Australian diplomat Mr. Peter Rogers, who sits up here with me. Our panel will then introduce themselves and respond to your questions. When we come to question time, people are interested in asking questions. If people are happy to ask their question from where they are, perhaps I'll just ask you, if you do have a question to ask, to stand in your place and just identify yourself. It's going to fall down, isn't it? Stand in your place and ask the question from where you are. So the AMW is proud to have an association with APAN. We've been associated with APAN for over 4 years. We believe that the struggle for Palestinians for freedom and justice is clearly union business. And can I say that one of the prouder associations that the AMW has is with AFIDA, the ACTU's overseas aid arm, and AFIDA, which was here last night, and I was chairing that meeting, has celebrated this year 30 years of its existence. And one of the first projects that AFIDA sponsored was in the occupied territories and in the refugee camps for Palestinians. And it's one of those areas that we believe is clearly one of major injustice, and where we believe that there needs to be some positive action taken to address the injustices which have occurred as a result of the occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. Those occupations have had horrendous effects on Palestinian workers, and recent reports include one by the World Bank on the unemployment rate in Gaza and one by the Human Rights Watch details working conditions of Palestinians, including miners in settlements. However, this issue is much broader than working conditions and unemployment. It is about the basic notion of fairness, justice and equality. Palestinians have been living under the daily grind of Israeli military occupation for nearly 50 years, which often results in the deaths of innocents. Australian Labor must be part of bringing an end to this. Until Palestinians are living under a system that treats them as equals, then we are called to work in solidarity with people working to bring a just peace. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. For the last 22 years, Palestinians have participated in negotiations toward a two-state solution and have watched their potential state be gobbled up by settlers and divided by Israel's annexation war. For the ALP to continue to recite our policy of a two-state solution by negotiations without practical solidarity is insane. Palestinians and indeed Israelis should expect more from us than old mantras, and it's time for the ALP to embrace new strategies so we can have real progress. So we will now see the video from Dr. Ashrawi, and we had hoped, as I said, to do a live video link, but logistics were difficult and cost prohibitive, so she has pre-recorded this message for us specifically for tonight. So if we could, as they say in the classic, roll tape. Of course we don't have tape, but something similar. Sure.